When we think about life, we often imagine great achievements and goals. But what if you started thinking like an athlete? No matter how far away the goal may seem, the athlete's mentality teaches us to focus on one step at a time. Have you ever wondered what it would be like if we faced our daily challenges with the discipline and resilience of an athlete? Today, I want to invite you to reflect on this. Are we facing our difficulties in the most efficient way, or are we letting them paralyze us? Life, like sport, is full of ups and downs. It's not about always winning, but about getting back up after each fall. Think of an athlete preparing for a competition. He knows that the road will be arduous, but he also knows that every workout, every mistake, and every success brings him closer to his goal. What can we learn from this? Perhaps it's time to see our obstacles as part of the process, rather than treating them as enemies. An athlete's mindset is much more than simply getting on with it. It involves patience, self-knowledge, and above all, the ability to reinvent ourselves. Imagine your life as a marathon, not a 100-meter race. Every decision, every challenge is training for the big game. When we look at it this way, we realize that even the small daily victories are essential for ultimate success. And here's the question I want to ask you. Have you been practicing your patience and determination? Now let's talk about the dilemma that many of us face. The difficulty of maintaining focus and persistence in the face of difficulties. As with any training, life tests us. It makes us want to give up at the most critical moments. And here comes the question. What do you do when the pressure mounts? An athlete doesn't give up. They adjust their strategies, take a deep breath, and keep going. Perhaps it's time we applied this same logic to our day-to-day lives, focusing on the solution rather than the problem. Getting into the conflict that many people experience, why do we feel that our lives are out of sync? Sometimes it feels like we're out of shape emotionally, doesn't it? We lack the energy, drive, and discipline to deal with adversity. Are we expecting immediate results without being willing to go through the process? The truth is that just like in sport, results come with consistency and dedication and not overnight. Perhaps you're beginning to wonder, but how can I apply this to my daily life? The first step is to change your perspective. Just as an athlete adjusts their routine and habits, so can you. Learn to see your obstacles as part of your training to become stronger and more resilient. So far, we've just warmed up. The question you need to answer yourself is, are you ready to abandon the mindset of seeking quick results and embrace the process? Think of it as mental preparation for what's to come. Just like in a competition, the real game begins when we learn to deal with pressure and frustration. When we stop trying to avoid discomfort and start using it as fuel, we're coming to the end of the first act, and now the way is open to a new perspective. Answers begin to emerge when we stop resisting the process and start enjoying it. Now that we've understood the importance of embracing the process, let's delve deeper into the question. How do we maintain persistence when everything seems to be falling apart? Just as an athlete faces injuries, defeats, and failures, we all go through times when life knocks us down. But you know what's amazing? Those moments are where we grow. An athlete knows that after a fall, the body recovers stronger. And the same happens with our mind and emotions. The problem isn't failing, it's giving up trying again. Life requires constant effort, as well as daily training. But what many people forget is that recovery is part of the process. Imagine an athlete who trains non-stop, without giving their body time to rest. He exhausts himself, loses performance, and eventually gets injured. Now apply that to your routine. How many times have you tried to force a quick fix, ignoring the need for rest and reflection? The balance between action and recovery is essential for any lasting progress. Have you ever noticed how athletes visualize their victories before they achieve them? They can picture every detail of the competition, from the first step to the finish line. This isn't just optimism, it's a powerful mental practice. They train their minds to believe in the process, even when the results don't yet appear. How is your vision of the future? Do you see yourself getting there, or is your vision obscured by difficulties? Maybe it's time to practice positive visualization in your own life. Until now, you may have been thinking that persistence and effort are everything. But there is a crucial point: patience. Many people give up because they don't see immediate results. But think about it. Have you ever seen an athlete win a championship without years of preparation? The same goes for life. The key is to maintain a long-term vision while adjusting your strategies in the short term. Success is not an isolated event. It is the accumulation of small daily advances. That's when the turning point begins to reveal itself. Often the problem is not the effort we put in, but the expectations we create. We expect life to give us quick answers and immediate rewards. But just like in sport, true victory comes to those who commit to the process, regardless of when the result appears. Here's the secret: embrace the path, not just the destination. Now that we understand the importance of patience, let's expand on this new perspective. Everything happens when you start to see the process as something positive, not as a burden. Obstacles stop being enemies and become opportunities for growth. Each challenge faced is a chance to grow stronger, just as each difficult training session prepares the athlete for competition. And that changes everything. When you start to value the journey, success stops being a distant goal and becomes a natural consequence. You may be asking yourself, but how do I do this in practice? The answer lies in small daily adjustments. Just like an athlete who works on their technique a little more with each workout, you can focus on improving one aspect of your life every day. It's not about a drastic change, but a daily commitment to self-development. Small cumulative victories create big results. What do you do when life continues to test you, even after all that effort? This is where the athlete's mentality shines through once again. They know that the real challenge often comes in the moments of greatest exhaustion. But it is precisely at these moments that it is clear who will persevere and who will give up. What keeps an athlete going is the certainty that each difficulty is preparing them for something greater. Ask yourself this question: am I really committed to the process? Just like an athlete who is one step away from crossing the finish line, you too are closer than you think. But to get there, you have to believe, even when mental and emotional fatigue try to stop you. What separates those who achieve their goals from those who give up is the decision to continue, even when everything tells you to stop. The real secret of the athlete's mindset is that at the moment when things seem most difficult, that's exactly when we're at the turning point. It's easy to keep going when everything is going well, but the real transformation takes place in the moments of greatest difficulty. Think of an athlete on the last kilometer of a marathon. His legs are tired. His mind wants to give up, but that's when his mental training kicks in. He knows that each step takes him closer to victory. In the same way, in life, the decision to keep going at the most critical moments is what brings us closer to success. And here's the key: when you start to see your challenges as part of the growth process, the fear of difficulty diminishes. You begin to realize that every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise, a chance to strengthen your mindset and skills. Just as an athlete needs physical stamina, you need mental and emotional stamina. And believe me, this strength is built with every small step you take, every moment you choose to persist. Now let's talk about how this impacts your life in practice. The athlete's mindset is not just an abstract concept. It can be applied to every aspect of your routine. Start small. Choose a challenge you're facing right now, be it at work, in your studies, or in your personal life. Think of it as training. Set goals, break the problem down into smaller parts, and treat each small victory as a step towards your bigger goal. Just like an athlete who celebrates every breakthrough in training, you too can celebrate every progress, no matter how small. The consequences of this mindset begin to show. By applying this way of thinking to your daily life, you'll see how small changes can have big impacts. The discipline you cultivate in one aspect of your life begins to spread to other areas. Little by little, you realize that you are more focused, more resilient, and above all, more aware of your power to change. The key is consistency. Just as an athlete trains every day, you have to keep cultivating this mindset. And the great truth is that over time, personal victory stops being just a goal and becomes a lifestyle. It's no longer about achieving a specific goal, but about becoming the person you want to be along the way. This is the true legacy of the athlete's mentality. constant transformation, continuous growth. Don't wait for perfect conditions to get started. Just as an athlete trains in different climates and circumstances, you also need to start from where you are, with the resources you have. The important thing is commitment to the process, not ideal conditions. If you wait for the perfect moment, it may never come. The athlete's mentality teaches us to work with what we have here and now. Ultimately, the message is clear. You have the power to transform your life, one step at a time. The athlete's mindset is not something reserved only for sports people. It is a philosophy of life that anyone can adopt. So today I invite you to start your journey. Choose a challenge, make a plan, and above all, commit to the process. Remember, success doesn't come from what you do once in a while, but from what you do consistently. Now, before I close, I want to leave you with an invitation. If this message resonated with you, share in the comments what challenge you're facing today. Let's go on this journey of growth together. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. And remember, real change starts from the inside out. And are you more than ready for that?